Okay, here we are. Got my strimmer fixed, so we are ready to start a wee bit of strimming. There she is, and this is where we're going to tackle this grass in and around the apple trees. So I'm right up to the beech hedge. I don't know how successful this will be with the strimmer. I might need to get my other strimmer with the blade on, but we will see. So I will report back shortly. Well, I have a lot of the strimming done. We're going to have a wee look at that, and then I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing next. So, this is the orchard area, and it's a wee bit easier to see the trees now. Now, I haven't quite done anything to them, and there's Casper and Shadow enjoying themselves. Anyway, we can see a bit more clearly the beech hedge as well as we come in, but it is wildly overgrown, up to maybe 15 feet in places, and quite bare at the bottom. So we're going to start rejuvenating that. Now is not a good time of the year to be doing it. It's not the worst, but really the winter would be the best. But anyway, I'm going to hand over to my assistant Joseph, who's going to continue the videoing. So, Joe, if you come around here, you'll just see what I'm going to do. So here we have the beech, and it is huge. And here we have the first of our apple trees. And what I need to do is, I know myself, and I know that I got to make this easy to look after. So I'm going to try to leave room for our lawnmower to go up, so I'm going to have to cut the beech back quite hard. I could take a set of electric or petrol trimmers to this, but I much prefer just going through it, and more like pruning the beech. We're getting there. Now I have to think about taking the top off. Now, because it's absolutely brutal to my beech, what I'm going to do, if you come around this side, as you can see, I've trimmed just down the side of the hedge here. I'm going to take very little off this side, so when I'm taking a little off, I'll really just take the ends of a few branches, leave this side plenty of foliage. That'll help the beech cope with the brutality of what I'm doing. So what I'll do is I'm going to get on with cutting back the hedge, and if you come through here, now is not the time to be pruning my apple tree, but I'm going to have to, especially on this side. Again, it's brutal for this time of year, but I gotta get the lawnmower up here, because if I don't, it'll just get back into an awful state again. So I'm going to do that. Joseph here, he's going to take the lawnmower, because although this has all been trimmed, it's awfully uneven, and there's a lot of dead grass sitting on top. And so Joseph's going to be in charge of the lawnmower this evening, and he will do a good job tidying this whole place up. The next job in here, once we get the hedge sorted, And the fruit trees pruned is we need to do something in around the base of the fruit trees, but we'll get to that maybe tomorrow. Hope you're all keeping well. Talk to you soon. So I thought I would just show you what a sorry state of affairs these fruit trees are in. They spent the first part of their lives just healed in my dad's garden, and I replanted them maybe 8 years ago. And the first job that needed done was the stakes needed taken out because they were either broken, they were hopeless, or the ties that were still on were strangling the plant. So the first job I did was take away the stake, and there was little rabbit protectors there too. So I took them out. Then we trimmed as carefully as I could right down to the ground. Basically just to get rid of as much of the grass as possible. Now there'll still be roots there, and I wasn't going to painstakingly go through it. Everything that I'm doing is better than the situation they were in. So I then put down some cardboard, and again this was just to stop the worst of the weeds coming back. Now they will still come through it, but this would slow that process down. And the whole idea is then that I would apply some manure, and that would be for different purposes, but primarily just to act as a mulch to feed and to keep moisture in at the poor fruit trees to give them a chance. So there you go, that's what I did to each of the fruit trees. It's amazing how one job leads to another. Started out just wanting to tidy up this pillar, to thinking, well, I better do that hedge, to doing the old vegetable patch, tidy up this whole bit at the entrance, beech hedge, orchard, the whole thing all came from that lousy pillar there. So, how am I getting on? Well, getting on very well. You can see the beech looking nice, surviving. And I'm getting on quite well with my fruit trees. I'm clearing in round the bottom, putting down a sheet of cardboard to try to suppress the weeds, and then I had some bags of manure that I've spread out, and that will do a number of different things. One is I have an inkling that especially up towards the top there, it gets very dry. There must be rock very close to the surface, and it gets very dry, and so the cardboard and the manure, it will help suppress the weeds a little. It'll feed the apple trees, and it will hopefully keep a bit of moisture in as well. So here's the one I'm doing at the moment, but unfortunately I'm at the last bag of my manure, and I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4 trees to do. So come with me. This is how one job always leads to another, because the bags of manure came from over here. This was an old manure heap. Now, look at it now. So, nightmare. So what I'm now going to have to do is I'm going to strim round the whole manure, and then I'm going to cover it to try to stop it from getting any worse. Now there'll still be loads of weed roots in it and weed seeds, but it'll still be better than nothing. So gonna have to interrupt my work in the orchard and get on with my strimming the manure heap. Oh, and once I have that manure heap done, I can get on with the next one at some point, but no doubt I'll leave that one until it's fully overgrown. Okie doke. well, what we managed to do with the manure heap, and I have to give Joseph and Jessica a special thank you, is we have made we've cut off the edge basically. If you imagine it just like a big pie, we had to cut off the edges so that because in the edges there isn't any thickness, and so it's mostly just weeds and roots. So we've got into the decent stuff, and we've got rid of this bit round the edge, and we just dumped it in the back because far too much manure here for me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to cover sort of this first 8 to 10 feet strip right along here, and that'll help it won't take away the weeds, but it will help suppress them for a while, and I will work away at it. And then the manure at the back, well, it'll probably never get used, and it'll turn into a nice feature, which will be perfect for growing some things. I can picture a lovely big rhododendron growing in underneath the trees there. It would be lovely. Just get some morning sun here, and that would be just perfect. And it'd be lovely, rich soil for it to grow in. But that's a few years away yet. So I'm now going to cover up, or I'm going to go have my lunch and catch my breath. I'm going to cover up this first strip. I've got some old plastic here. I did have a bright blue tarpaulin, but I don't think Steph would have been too chuffed. So we'll go with the black, and as I say, we'll cover up this strip. Before I do that, of course, this all started just because I need a few bags of manure. But it's lovely to have that done. And yes, before I cover it up, I'll get some more manure so I can finish the fruit trees. Okay, and just to show you here, what I did was I scraped off the top a couple of inches, and then used my spade to get out that little bit, which turned into a full barrel of lovely, well rotted manure. Now, loads of enemy roots in here. Let's see, some big ones, some giant scotch grass. There's all sorts in there. There's nettles, there's other things, but it's better than nothing, and I'll be able to keep an eye on it when it's under the fruit trees, and hopefully I'll catch anything that wasn't there already. The grass I'm not that worried about. At the end of the day, it's better than the grass that was there. Okay, so I'll go now and finish the fruit trees. So that's part one of my project here finished at the orchard. I know orchard's a bit of a grand name to describe it, but that's us finished. That I'm going to leave the next part in through the other side of the beech hedge. I'm going to leave that for now. A few other pressing things that I need to do. A couple of things just to mention. Well, that's all the manure around the bottom of all the fruit trees. Hopefully that will improve their chances of doing well this year. There's a couple of crab apples in the hedge, and I decided to give them a good prune, but I've decided to leave them, and hopefully they will do well too. And just in the corner, I didn't trim the beech in the corner. I will let that grow into a great big tree. It won't cast a shadow. It's at the north end of the orchard, so it won't cast a shadow over anything here, and hopefully that'll be nice. So I will show you it again maybe in a couple of months' time, when the grass will hopefully have recovered. Instead of being a brown patch, it'll be lovely fresh green. But that's the orchard done.